that is the most important source of getting your nutrients is the health of your gut.
Right.
If your gut is not healthy, you don't get your nutrients.
You can take all the nutrient supplements you want, but if you can't break it down, that bioavailability we talk about, what is available to the body.
Correct.
So a lot of people are just wasting their money doing their supplements and herbs, and if you're not able to process it, you're really wasting your money.
Absolutely.
That's why naturopath doctors are so important, or a naturopath life coach like me. They can take you by the hand and look for the nutrition. So when people come in and they do, I say leaky gut, leaky brain.
Yes, absolutely.
There is a correlation. Would you like to talk about that correlation?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about leaky gut for those people who don't know what that means. What is a leaky gut? So basically, there's a whole host of symptoms and things that can happen that have nothing to do with digestion. You could have headaches, you could have sweats, you could get pimples, you could have backaches, and that could all be because your body has become sensitive to a food. And so what we check for naturopathically is we do a blood test, and we test for a sensitivity to food. There are 4 immunoglobulins.
So food allergies is what you're saying. If you have a sensitivity,
yes. So there's no, not actually the same. Good question. Actually, there's the anaphylactic that we all know, the peanut allergy. Yes.
I can't breathe,
right. So that is a certain immunoglobulin reaction. That is the one that creates anaphylaxis. That is an allergy, a true allergy. We also have an immunoglobulin, IgG, which is in the bloodstream. And that comes to attack things that the blood thinks is a toxic thing. So if you get a toxin in your body, that will come and attack it. And that's what we're looking for. So when we do a food sensitivity test, we actually test, is your blood attacking the food that is coming out of your digestive system and into your bloodstream? Does it think it's a nutrient, or does it think it's a toxin? And when it thinks it's a toxin, that's when you have a food sensitivity.
Okay.
That is your own body attacking it. It's not going to cause an anaphylactic shock, but it might cause a runny nose. It might cause a stomach ache. It might cause a headache. And it might cause a headache 2 days later, because it might take that long for you to process it, for it to get into your bloodstream. So you could have, let's say you have a food sensitivity to apples. Not common. But if you have leaky gut, whatever you're eating the most of, you usually are sensitive to at that point. And so, again, if I were to go back to leaky gut, basically what happens with that is your intestines have these cells. They're called microvilli.
Tight junctions.
They're all of and they have tight junctions, and they look like this, and they're like this. And so, basically, the nutrient comes in, and it says, "Hi, I'm calcium. Can I please go through to the bloodstream?" And the microvilli has a channel that will open, and it will allow it to go through to the bloodstream. Now, when you have leaky gut, these are inflamed, and they kind of open up like this.
Spread apart.
And now there's no gate. There's no gatekeeper. There's no nothing. And so here comes whatever nutrient or whatever it is, and a lot of times it's undigested.
Goes right through, doesn't it?
Goes right through into the blood, and the blood goes, "Hey, I don't know what this is. I'm going to attack it, because I don't know what just happened."
So your body's really attacking itself.
It's attacking the nutrients. And something that could be extremely healthy for you, say a celery stick, if you have leaky gut and it's going through without the gatekeepers and through the gaps that are open, it's going to cause an immune system reaction.
That's where the gas and the bloating, I tell my clients, if you're eating foods and you start getting really gaseous and bloating, it's a really good indication that you might have a food sensitivity. You need to listen to your body.
And my food sensitivities didn't even have digestive. Mine, I have a sensitivity to eggs. It causes my joints to swell, and my rings won't fit.
Well, dairy creates mucus, which creates pain. A lot of people don't know that.
Causes me to sneeze for 3 days.
And cheese clogged you up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the things that you wouldn't necessarily think have digestively related could be caused by a food sensitivity. Your headaches, your seasonal allergies, things like that could be caused by a food sensitivity.
Could it throw your hormones off?
Well, what happens is when you have leaky gut for long periods of time, one of the first organs that goes or starts showing signs of dysfunction is the thyroid.
Wow.
That is a very common, I see
Hashimoto's. Hyper and Hashimoto's, people listen up. She's trying to tell you, a really key component in getting to the root cause. A lot of doctors are not going to ask you what you're eating to run a food sensitivity test.
And they're not. And so what we do is we run a food sensitivity test. Some of them have up to 400 foods, depending on.
Is that blood work? Is that a blood test?
Work. Okay. And so they're looking for the IgG to be attacking. And if you have over 10 reactions, 10 to 15, that's a sign that you have leaky gut, because most people are truly sensitive to about 3 to 5 once you've healed the leaky gut and things like that. Most people have a few food sensitivities.
How do you heal a leaky gut?
So that's a good question. It's a multifaceted approach, and it's not a quick fix. You have to remove the things that are aggravating your body right now.
Inflammatory foods.
That's right. The ones that are the highest reaction, you remove for the longest. Lowest reaction, 2 months. So you start off with a 2-month removal of the lowest. You remove
like
all.
A 30, 60, 90 plan? Is that what that is?
A little bit. It goes all the way till 6 months, but you want to basically allow your blood to stop recognizing that as a toxin. You want to take it out, and you use other foods that the blood is not currently attacking, because it doesn't get fixed right in the first day.
It's not an easy fix. It's like 3 to 6 months, just like your hormones. People come in to work with me, and they're like, oh, my hormones are off. I'm like, well, you're going to have to give me 6 to 8 months. This is no easy fix.
Because you need to build into it. And so one of the things, there's a couple things that I use to just heal the microvilli, heal the cells. I love L-glutamine. Which you may be,
rocks.
Yes, it's an amino acid, and you may be familiar with it from the bodybuilding world. Yes,
you got to have amino acids. If you're bodybuilding, not taking enough protein and amino acids, you're never going to build. You're not going to get your muscles.
True. Now, but we don't use L-glutamine to build muscle. In this case, we actually take it away from all protein, so it does not go to the muscle. We take it by itself, and we let it go into the intestines by itself, so it will help bring those junctions back together, and it will help heal the gut lining.
You ever use the bone broth or collagen? I use a lot of bone broth in my clients.
Bone broth. I love bone broth and collagen. That's just great nutrient value in general. It is going to give you peptides and building blocks, but the things that heal, L-glutamine, slippery elm will heal, aloe vera will heal.
Aloe vera's great. I used to do this little, like a 1 ounce shot. I would do, because you're healing, think about it, if it helps burns and your body's inflamed, why not internally take the aloe vera juice, either a shot of it or put it in your smoothies?
Yes.
I put it in smoothies. A lot of times I'll just get a plant and then peel out, and then they're great little snacks too. Believe it or not, aloe vera is really tasty. People don't realize that. They think it's just for burns. Some people don't like the taste,
but no, absolutely. You can absolutely ingest it. It does heal. And then another thing we do is we support the digestion by adding digestive enzymes to help
I was going to ask you about
break up the current food, because you're still going to have a little bit of leaky gut right in the beginning. And you don't want things to go through holes so the body has more stuff to attack.
Enzymes, probiotics, and then what's the difference between probiotics and pre-probiotics and enzymes for our audience? I know it because I'm a life coach.
Right, of course. So digestive enzymes would be, there's a couple types. There's the one that has hydrochloric acid, which is what your stomach naturally produces to help break down proteins and break down foods. A lot of people are low in hydrochloric acid.
Get off the proton pump inhibitors.
Please get off the proton pump.
Please get off the proton pump.
Antacids, please.
Acids are not working. You need acid to help you.
You know, this is a misnomer. One of the reasons I went to naturopathic medical school was because I had heartburn so bad that they wanted to do a surgery to retard the flap of my stomach.
Oh my gosh, that is
so
extreme.
It wouldn't go up.
Don't change what you eat. Let's anatomically change your body.
I literally said, is there something I can do to stop eating?
Naturally.
I stopped eating acidic foods or things like that.
Peppermint oil in your midline is great. For the body.
So they were like, no, you can't change your food. It's not going to be food. You can, we're going to retard that flap. We're going to burn the nerve. And I said,
cauterize your nerve.
You know, I'm not going to go.
Isn't there a purpose of that nerve that God created it?
One would think
you would need your.
God created the body basically
perfectly.
with the things that you need to do.
Right.
So here's the funny thing about that flap. If you have, the only thing that can handle acid is the stomach. So your stomach naturally produces an amount of acid, and those flaps close.
Right.
Because
esophageal flap.
The esophageal flap and the one that goes to the small intestine.
Yeah, you have a sphincter.
They both close.
Right.
Because of the acid. And so it doesn't go up into your esophagus and burn it. So it doesn't go into your intestines and burn it. So if they
cauterize that flap, you wouldn't have any control over.
No gag reflex. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and that was their idea.
Solution.
There was a solution. So the funny story is that people get heartburn because the flap isn't closing.
Right.
Well, the flap doesn't close unless you have enough acid. So we are taking antacids to reduce the amount of acid
that we can't. Those antacid chews with calcium. you can't break them down. It's not even available to the body.
You also can't, you can't absorb the calcium.
You can't absorb it.
With no acid.
Right.
Oddly enough.
Right.
So it's kind of a silly thing.
That's true too.
So what I'm basically saying is we are doing the opposite. America does the opposite of what should be done. Instead of creating more acid to force that flap to close,
right.
So you're not getting the acid to come back up.
You're vomiting, reflux in the middle of the night. I got so bad I had to put my headboard up on cinder blocks.
A lot of people...
To alleviate that esophageal, you can do that. Put your headboard up to get that esophagus where it's not laying flat.
Or
you're not
you could actually just have enough acid to close the flap.
Yeah.
So basically...
How do you make sure you have enough acid?
You add the digestive enzymes, because so many of us have taken antacids for that we have lowered our body's ability to produce the amount of acid we actually need. So what we do is we add that acid back in, and it actually will stop the heartburn, because the flap will close and it won't be flapping open with not enough acid, because when your stomach moves and it doesn't have enough acid, It's not sealed.
Right.
So we basically do the opposite of what we should be doing. We take away the acid when we should be.
It's crazy if you think about allopathic medicine and the way that it really doesn't truly heal the body.
No, it definitely does not heal
the body. It manages it.
That's correct. So
it steers you in an unnatural pathway, a natural way.
Well, it causes more, and acid, for example, if you have low acid and you're continuing to take Zantac or whatever it is that you're taking an antacid.
Flavor of the month.
Right, and you're not digesting your proteins, right?
Right.
So now you're not breaking down your proteins, but you're getting all your carbohydrates. You're getting all your carbohydrates. Right. And I had a patient that had been on antacids for 20 years, not a high sugar eater, not a high carbohydrate eater, mostly meat and vegetables, but on antacids. So therefore, he digested all of his carbs and came up pre-diabetic.
Wow.
Does not eat sweets, does not eat desserts, does not have diabetes in his family. And I finally got back to the reason.
The root cause.
The root cause is that you have not been able to break down your proteins for 20 years. You've been basically digesting carbohydrates.
Just running on the sugar.
Basically, and causing his...
It's almost as bad as the cholesterol drug scam. You